Magus, web novel, Chapter 556, Hostility Part 2. Sure, right, I'd love to hear more, but alas I'm a busy man. Lith's tone was as condescending as it was full of sarcasm. He took out the army amulet from his pocket dimension, suppressing a chuckle when the Count yelped at the sight of it. Lith reported everything to his handler, then he had her confirm the Count's well-being and record his request for canceling the mission. I need you to state the reason why you requested the army's intervention in the first place for the record. Camilla said. Because Viscount Krame's mercenaries were harassing several upstanding citizens and interfering with their religious freedom, but now everything is resolved. Those sinners have received their retribution. The Count's fervor put a dent in even Camilla's perfect poker face, making her raise an eyebrow in confusion. Do you mean that the local guards dealt with the problem? No, the gods did. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a lot of work to do. When will Ranger Verhan leave? His services are unrequired and his disrespect most unpleasant. The Count asked her, like Lith wasn't even there. Right after lunch, since you have already wasted my time, the least I can do is to get a hot meal and restock my food supplies. Lith left the Count's office, never hanging up the call. I've resolved 2 missions in as many days. I would like to apply for leave due to outstanding performance, he said. The second doesn't count since it was cancelled, but nice try. If you need any kind of supplies, buy them from the local army store. Merchants inflate their prices during the lockdown, whereas we keep ours fixed. How cute of her worrying about my expenses. She seems to be faring much better than yesterday, Lith thought. Yeah, but isn't it odd that she is still your handler after becoming a field assistant constable? Solis pondered. It didn't make much sense, unless someone was attempting to manipulate their relationship again. Lith cursed himself for forgetting about her promotion again and called Camilla during her lunch break to make sure everything was fine. I was supposed to be replaced after I started my training course, but I asked to continue being your handler. I don't know if it's because of Lady Erna's or Commander Barian, but the Central Command accepted my request. Camilla said while unpacking her chicken salad. Having a sedentary job and practicing cooking had made her gain some weight, so she was on a diet. To make matters worse, Lith's training routine gave him his lean muscular build and made her self-conscious about her body. Is that why you looked so tired recently? I don't want you to overwork yourself. Starting a new job is already challenging enough. You don't need extra stress. Lith ordered a whole roasted chicken with gravy sauce and potatoes, almost making her drool. Don't worry, it's no big deal. This way we can keep in touch even when we are away from each other. Being sure you're alright is worth a little overtime and I can use a little extra money. Camilla needed to save as much as she could for Zinnia's procedure. I'm glad to still have you as my handler, but most importantly, as my girlfriend. I wish you were here. Lith caressed Camilla's hologram's cheek while she intently stared at his meal. She was already done with her food and yet she was still hungry. I got to go. Have a nice meal and remember to tip the waitress, Camilla said when the gong signaled the end of her break. Her hologram disappeared, leaving Lith's full-blown paranoia to worry about why she seemed to be on edge the whole time. Maybe she is sick of our long-distance relationship, or maybe she met someone else. Someone better than me. Lith had no idea that it had been his meal upsetting her. Camilla couldn't forgive herself for speaking to the chicken the whole time instead of Lith. Hey handsome, is this seat taken? Said a honeyed feminine voice. Lith was so focused on his alleged troubles with Camilla that he almost choked on his lunch from surprise. Aside from noble girls, no one had hit on him since he had started working as a ranger. Without waiting for a reply, the woman sat in front of him while crossing her legs in a slow, seductive way. I'm flattered by your attentions, but in case you missed it, I was just talking to my girlf. Lith looked up from his plate, too dumbfounded to continue his speech. Aside from Tista, Tiras, and Thrud, it was definitely the most beautiful woman he had ever seen. Long silky black hair framed her delicate visage, emphasizing her light chestnut eyes and her fair skin. Her soft curves and ample bosom were so voluptuous that not even her comfortable adventurer's clothes could hide them more than a passing cloud can eclipse the sun. Can you take me to a healer? Because I just broke my leg falling for you, Lith replied, making her giggle. A group of adventurers sitting a few tables apart were currently split between those too shocked to speak and those cursing out loud. Since when does the captain have a thing for tall guys? She even rejected Hosung, and he was a giant, said a red-haired man currently green with envy. Who cares? It's the first time I've seen her hitting on someone, let alone laugh at a cheesy pickup line, said a young woman with light brown hair and her uniform dirty from spilling her wine all over it. What the heck are you doing here, Freya? Lith said while embracing his old friend and causing most of the male customers of the restaurant to choke on their food from resentment. I could ask you the same thing. The North is a big place. I didn't expect to meet you so easily. Freya was still giggling at their flirting routine. It was an inside joke between them, from the time they both were assistant professors at the White Griffin. Whenever they met, they would pretend to not know each other and spout the cheesiest lines they could think of. It helped Freya to keep annoying suitors at bay and she usually found the people's reaction to the scene to be hilarious. There's only one reason for me being here. They requested my presence. Luckily, I'm already done with my business and I'm about to leave. What about you? I've been here in Xantia for a month. Viscount Krame recruited my whole guild to protect his properties from the local nutjobs. She shrugged. No offense but, why you? There are a lot of mercenary guilds in the north too. Finding you here, in my same restaurant can't be just a coincidence. There are several reasons for calling me. First, my guild has still a perfect score. Second, having a capable healer during a lockdown is always a plus. Third, Viscount Crame is one of those stuck-up idiots that look down on anyone who isn't a noble for at least 3 generations. There aren't many guilds led by a noble. Also, he hopes that by hiring me he will get the opportunity to suck up on my parents, especially Dad. Freya said. No sane man would approach your mother. Lith still found it odd meeting her like that.